Hi, so many of you asked me a lot about how to build a career in tech in some of the most major companies like Big Four. um, so I would suggest, or I would, let's start again. So, hi, so many of you asked me for all the love that I'm getting. I have not been able to make some of the requested content for quite some time, but still, you all were here. So, thank you so much for that. So, let's quickly welcome back. How to make your career in big tech. So let me try to answer that. It requires a full session, more refined, like a career path. If you need that, it would take some more time for me as well in order to research and create that. But I didn't want to leave that question unanswered for quite some time. So hence, I'm back, and this is the series that I would just tell you what I would have done or I would do different if I were you. So when I started my career, I would have still done the same things which I did, but obviously adopt to the current market trends and all of that. So when I started exploring, being curious, being part of all the societies that I could. I started learning programming. I came into college, so I did knew some HTML, CSS, and all that because of some of the projects that I made in my 10th class, and I loved computer science since then. But 11th and 12th, I had biology, and once I started my this career, after finally choosing I want to pursue engineering and joined one of the colleges, there were again this decision making that I had to do, like what am I interested in, what programming languages. People get overwhelmed for sure. I know you have been there. People get overwhelmed in terms of what language do you want to use, what tech stack or what expertise you want to have. For example, inside computer science as well, there are various fields. For example, you can be a backend developer, front end developer, full stack developer, ML engineer, so many more. Like the vast number of fields that you can get expertise in. There is Web3. You can get into um, open source, so many things. So even when you join some of these college groups or communities, you'll be more aware about what all is there out there. And what I suggest and what I did personally, I tried out some things in each one of them to understand like what my interests are, what I want to do, what I want to pursue in my future, and that's my path forward. So I tried a couple of things, even just not tech, because I wasn't even sure that I want to be an engineer or not. So I tried a couple of things early in my career. So in my very first year itself, I was part of some startups. I think startups is the best place where you can learn the most, like when you start early. And I would still go back and I would contribute or learn in some of the startups. You build applications from scratch, you have full autonomy. All of that happens in some of the startups. So this was a startup by one of my college seniors, and I did learn how to learn in that startup. So there were people from different streams. I think that's also a good exposure when you meet people from different streams. They have different ideas, and you can create something which involves different techs. For example, I have seen startups where people from college have started this 3D printing businesses. They know about software, they know hardware designing. All of the skills are involved. Then people make drones, they make some small robots and all of that. Like it's a vast field. Most of the startups experience or you want to try out something, I think college is the good place to start with. After that, I was actively looking and searching on LinkedIn for opportunities. So I would even suggest you to follow some of the hashtags which you are interested in. For example, it could be career related, it could be a particular skill related that you're interested in, and that's what I was doing. And even through that, as well as parallelly from my college seniors, I got to know about some of these programs which were actively looking for participants or looking for people, and I kind of joined that groups. And once I joined those groups, I was able to get more opportunities in terms of that. After getting into that program, it opened my door to several networking opportunities. It opened my door to several being aware opportunities, since like all of these are like we were women in tech, but all of these are you can your colleagues or people around you, they know now how how things are progressing, what are the different trends. They keep on sharing these opportunities as well. So if you're part of these groups, this is the second way. I have been part of some of very lot of opportunity groups, and there I got to know about some of the opportunities, things I can apply for. There was so many things I even didn't knew when I was a student. So there is something called as there are mentorship programs, there are open source programs. There's so many things that people can apply to, and all of those are your own career trajectory and paths which can lead you to places. So I would suggest being curious and actively applying to all of those opportunities. Given that LLMs are performing really well, I would have also invested a quite good amount of time in understanding how they work, how they function, how can I improve the existing LLMs, what are the state of art technologies, what's happening around in the industry, in terms of even our industry is pivoting in terms of what can be done, what could have been done, or how can we improve upon some of the existing models. So I would read personally about all of this to understand how LLMs are usually working, and then obviously I'll be using some of the LLMs to improve my productivity. For example, when I made my portfolio, it took me a lot of time, but right now it's like a fingertips away. Like, you just need to put in some of the prompts and you'll have your portfolio ready. So those are the things or capabilities that LLM provide you, is what I'm talking about. You can create a lot of projects and you can get a lot of visibilities through these projects. I have seen people get some of the opportunities when they were posting live in terms of progress that they were making. They were of creating this application and they tell how is this application useful, what changes they made, what are the innovation that they did there. So all of these are something that I would suggest myself to be, or to be doing, when if I would have gone back in time. That's there. Other than that, I'm not sure whether previous recording was recorded or not. If it's recorded, I'll have to re-record again, but I'll just go forward assuming things were recorded. And let me check. A lot of messages. Yeah, usually I get busy in terms of work. Um, I have some goals, I have responsibilities that I need to take care of, and that's why I get tiny bit busy, but it's okay. Getting back, how to get into Big Four. And then I didn't restrict myself to just one company. I did interviews with some of the major companies, and I learned a lot in all of these interviews. So I would say I loved interviewing at that point of time. And obviously, I need to brush up upon my DSA. Okay, let me talk about this as well. This is one of the topics that people keep on asking me. Plus, I have a different take up on this. So people say like you should be very all that. To be honest, when I gave my interviews, I didn't knew all of that. Meaning that was it DSA? I didn't knew that. I knew problem solving skills. I knew how to solve problems. I understood how to solve problems. So if you're good with that, I think you're good to go. For example, me, I enjoyed making projects more than uh, just doing some of the problem solvings on some of these competitive programming platforms. And I would not say do not do it. Do it. You need to solve, you need to practice, you need to be good at problem solving. I did practice a lot as well. I won't say I didn't practice questions and everything. I did. But it's just that do what you enjoy doing and learn how you enjoy learning. Meaning, if you understand the concepts really well, you'll be able to solve most of the crucial questions or most of the major of the questions which are usually asked in the interview. So you need to be very clear about or with your concepts. That's like a very good way to go ahead with. So I think this video went long enough. I'll stop right there, and I hope the recording went in. So we'll talk more about this as well, and I'm planning to invite more people over to give some of the point of views as well. And we are not just going to talk about tech. I think that so many skills inside Google as well as outside and everywhere, which people should be aware of and people should know of. So we'll try to cover all of those roles. What are the different career opportunities as well? It's not just engineers. We have been in India, we have been brought up saying that either you can be an engineer or a doctor, but there are a lot more fields. Even that's what I also keep on exploring. Like, even I I think I might not change. I like what I do, but at some point, if I get more bored, there are so many different fields that I'm also interested in, and I might try it out. So, yeah, we'll talk about all of these. I'll try to invite people over from all of these tiny, tiny fields so that we have a good set of background set for everyone so that you can make a informed decision what you are actually want to do in your career and your life. So, that's all. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and comment what do you want next. Thank you.